Hey everyone, welcome back. In this video, we are going to make a fun spring shaker with this vase shaker die set that Pretty Pink Posh sent over to me to create with. And I am loving a good shaker card, and I have a fun idea that I want to do to bring this card together. So I'm gonna bring in a lot of their products because this release was just way too good. But let's start by creating the shaker element. So I'm gonna remove this, and they also have a little kind of scalloped bottom piece, which I think is so cute. So I'm going to use that as well. But let's grab some cardstock. Okay, I have a little scrap piece that I accidentally did not score correctly. So I'm going to use that to make my cute shaker. So I need to do one background piece just like so. And then I'm going to do probably, well, actually, hold on, we gotta stop. I'm gonna do one at a time here because I'm gonna need this piece as well to create the other element. It's gonna be like a little cutout. Okay, so we're gonna do this times one. This is our back side of our shaker. And then I'm going to do this probably 1, 2, 3, probably 4 times. So I'll do the inside and the exterior 4 times. Just line that up the best that I can and absolutely secure that down with some tape so it doesn't shift. And run that on through. And then we have our little outline here. Okay, so I'm gonna do that 3 additional times so we have a total of 4. And I can certainly use this little bent portion as well because I'm using this as my build up to create a area that I can add some shaker elements. So you'll see why in a bit that it's okay to put it on this little fold. Okay, I think this will be enough, but I'll test it in just a moment, and you'll see why I'm doing this in just a second. Now, before I put this die away, I also want to grab a sheet of acetate, and I want to cut acetate out of the larger die. So this die, because I need a full sheet that's in this shape. So hard to see here, but I have a sheet of acetate that I'm just going to send on through. Snap, crackle, pop on that one. And there we go. Just have to kind of poke this out. Okay, so then there is that piece. And what we're going to do is now create our little shaker window. So what I want to do is I want to have 3 pieces because I'm trying to make this nice and thick behind so that there is a little gap area for all of my shaker elements. And I might have to cut this out a few more times. Let's see what that thickness is looking like. Oh, that's not bad. In fact, I'm going to just do it twice more. Not only is that going to give us a really fun dimension, but it's just going to give more room for all of the sequins to move around in there. And if this is kind of seeming a little foggy and you're wondering what the world is she doing, just give me a moment and it's all going to visually come together once you see the gluing. Okay, I'm feeling much better about doing 5 beneath. So there is our final little piece. And now we can start our gluing. So using liquid glue, remember I have my acetate sheet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take one outline piece and put it with the acetate sheet. And with the remaining 5, I'm going to glue all of those together. So I'm simply going to just place glue all around. I need to refill my glue. I've been having so much fun that it's getting a little empty. Okay. And then just hover over and line these up. Now, if you just get it close enough, you can pick up your die cut and you can just shift it right into position. And I just use my fingers to pinch it into place. Okay, so there we have 2, then 3, then 4, and then 5. So what we did by gluing 5 of these together is we are trying to make it thick enough that the sequins inside can move freely. So you want it to be thicker than your sequins. And I honestly think 5 stacked on top of one another is the dream number. Okay, I haven't done this in such a long time. So in this fashion of a shaker card. So I had to kind of remember how many is good. Now we're going to do the rest of it. So now we're going to set this to the side, grab our acetate, actually, and I'll grab one more of these outlines, add the glue to the back of this, and this is where we're going to assemble the actual window. Okay, so now, without getting glue everywhere, we'll just align these up. Again, picking it up. Oops, got a little glue there. It'll be all right. And you don't want to get too much glue because you don't want to foggy up your window. You want to keep your window nice and clear. That way it's nice and pretty, but you can kind of scratch that off. Okay, so there is our window. Now, when you turn it over, what we're going to do, in fact, I'll do the glue on this side, but we're going to attach these two pieces together. And the reason why you have that surrounding area on the top of the acetate is just to give it that nice clean look, because if not, you're going to see this glue through the acetate. So it's a little mask, and it also just makes it look very polished. Okay, so look how thick that is. Isn't that neat? And then we have quite a little well inside to put our shaker elements. So I can't decide if I want to do like a tone on tone look. I think that would be super pretty. Or if I want to do a different color. I think the tone on tone would be really pretty, but I actually can kind of preview it. Oh, hold on. Nope, that's super pretty. Yeah, I think I want to do that just to give a little bit of something more. Okay, now I don't want it to get too full because if I get it too full, they won't shake around. So what I'm going to do is add those as flat as can be on this back panel. And then I'll take this, put the glue around, making sure to get glue all over so that we don't have any openings for this sequins to fall out. Okay, and moving all my sequins to the middle so that I don't get any under my border. Okay, place this down. And again, you can shift it into position. Okay, and once that's all glued, then you have your little shaker base. Isn't that cute? Now I do want to add a little scalloped trim to the bottom because I think that is just adorable. So I'm going to add that in white. I think this will be so sweet. I'll just go right down here. Okay, so what I'm going to do actually is just add the glue to this little trim down here. And then place this on. Oh, cute. So simple, but so sweet. Okay, now we need to do the flowers that are going to go inside. Oh my gosh, I'm loving that. So sweet. So now I just get to decide. I have some dies here that I can use from, let me find you the die set. I'm going to be using this beautiful floral die set that is also a part of the release. So I have some of those elements here. So I just need to decide which ones I want to do. So let's first decide on how many stems we want, because then we can fill it all in. So I'm going to grab 3 of the stems that I think will be fun. See if I can use this whole piece. Oh, I sure can. And if there's ever a piece that's going to fall off, have it be your little top round piece because you're just using that as a glue base. So that one's going to be okay. Okay, so here are my flower pieces. Oh, this is going to be so pretty. So I'm just kind of getting a little idea of how I would arrange this to see how many I would like. And I'm going to keep it pretty simple. Okay, see how it's just all coming together? Oh, I'm loving this. Okay, so now we just decide how we assemble it in our cute little vase here. And honestly, you can't go wrong. Anything's gonna be adorable. Okay, I'm kind of liking that, just like that. So what I'm gonna do is put a little bit of tape. How do I wanna do that? Maybe, whoop, not like that. I'm going to tape the front and then tape the back. Okay, I like that. Actually, if I just get most of it, hold on. You know what? I need to get the card base. There's also this really cute stitched scallop die that's brand new as well, and I'm going to use this for my card base. So what I'll do is I have a pre-cut A2 size panel, and that's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and as you can see, it fits right inside there, and I'll run that through on my Platinum 6. Okay, and I have it situated where I'd like. So now I will run that through. Okay, ran that through, and there's the final look. Isn't that neat? It's so pretty. So we're gonna use that, and I'm gonna trim it down just a little bit so that we have just a bit of a margin. So what I'm going to do is bring that piece in, and I'm just going to take 1/8 of an inch off of each side. And that will give me a 1/4 inch margin. Is that right? There we go. Okay, so it's just going to be a little bit smaller than my card base. And I do have quite a bit of color going on here, so I'm going to do a white card base. So I have 11 by 4 1/4 in 110 pound cardstock. Again, this is 11, so I will score at 5 1/2. There we go. And I can fold that, press that down, and I have a top folding A2 card. I'll open that up, and let's place this little guy down. Lately, because my non-stick scissors have been kind of gumming up on me, I don't know if anyone has any tips for how to kind of get them to feel new again besides cleaning them, but I've been just kind of ripping my foam tape, and it's been working, and it's a lot quicker. I love a fun textured background. It just is something that's, I feel, super quiet, but it gives so much visual interest because we have a lot of solid things going on here with the solid cardstock, even though they are some stitched little pieces. I feel like a background is completely necessary and fun for this. Okay, so now we can work on, oh, that's going to be so cute. We can work on placing this down. So I'm going to bring it down enough so that we can play around with, oh yeah, that's going to take up most of the card, isn't it? Okay, this is going to go over here actually. So let's just go ahead and start placing these down where we think they should go. And I'm going to probably need to bring this vase back in just to kind of situate everything. Okay, but I like that. Pretty. And we have such dimension on the actual shaker element that I'm not going to bring any foam adhesive behind these pieces, though you certainly could. Actually, it would actually make it kind of tricky though, because these are to be tucked behind the vase, at least on my card. So I'll definitely be skipping those. Okay, so let's see if I can do this without getting all gummed up here. And we'll do something like that. And then we have both of these, which are so cute. Well, you know, I didn't really think that through because you can barely see that little white one. What was I thinking there? I don't even know, because my intention has always been to have it be white, so I'm not sure what I was doing there. So there are all of our little flowers, and then we're going to tuck this little guy down here. Okay, so I have some liquid adhesive right on the back here. I don't know if those flowers kind of got tucked in there, but that's okay. What's kind of not okay, I feel like, is this one. So I am going to take this, just the flower part off, and I'm going to grab another flower. because that is just not doing anything for us when we have that way down there. So we'll do just a quick little flower change. And this will be nice because it'll bring in this peach color once more. Oh, that's cute. Okay. And this is just the bigger version of the other one. I'll just place that right on down. Ooh, I'm getting to the end of this bottle. I need to do a little refill. Oh, that's cute. Okay, now I'm going to stamp out my sentiment really quickly. And let me look at my card. I think "You're an Amazing Friend" would be so pretty just to layer on here. Or "You're the Best." I think "You're the Best." So I'll grab just a little scrap piece of cardstock that I have. I think that I have enough to do that. Just enough. Using every little scrap. And I'm going to do a nice black ink so we can have a bit of contrast there. Perfect. I feel like that piece was just the right size. One more time, and there we go. Ooh, very pretty. Okay, I'm going to trim this out with the coordinating die, and we will be ready to finish the card. Okay, got a little die around there. Send this through. And I love how fresh these sentiments are. Isn't that cute? So sweet. I just love how that looks. I think that is so fresh and fun. So what I think I'll do is, actually I'm kind of, well, no, I do like it off to the side. I was gonna say right in the middle looks really cute, but I am just a sucker for that little off-centered sentiment. So I'm gonna grab tweezers this time just to help me. And I'm gonna add my liquid glue to the back. You certainly could do some foam tape, but I truly think that this card has enough dimension on it, so let's skip that part. And then place this here. And it's covering, you know, the shaker part, but not enough to where it's, you know, taking away from the look of it. I like that. And I am done with that card. Because I have such fun sparkle and embellishment within the shaker itself, I'm not going to add any additional embellishment, but I think that is so super cute. We have the little shaker element, which I adore. It's just so fun. So I'll place all of these supplies down below. Hopefully you enjoyed watching this come together and were inspired in some way, and I'll see you in the next video.